Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is Madison Gilmore, a cheerleader here at Troy University, and we're going to be talking a little bit about cheerleading and ways for Troy students to become a cheerleader and ways for people who a little bit younger to get involved and be a part of this. I want to thank you for joining us here today for that. So, well, Madison, first and foremost, before we get into talking about the clinics and the tryouts that we're going to talk about a little bit later, let's just talk about being a cheerleader at Troy University and tell me a little bit about what makes it, I guess, special to be a Troy cheerleader.
Well, it's so much fun. You get to meet so many people. You get to see the reactions of people when you come in the room because everybody gets super excited, especially the little girls who want to be a cheerleader when they grow up. And that's really cool to get to see those people who are looking up to you. You get to meet a lot of alumni, which of course helps with networking, but also helps with you getting to know people around the community. And that's always a fun thing. And then cheering at the games, like the bowl game, was just an amazing experience. So,
well, and that's one of the things that a lot of people, that's where they see you front and center, is cheering at those games and a part of that. And I know that's the main part of what you do, but that's not all that you do, right? There's a lot of other activities and events that you participate in.
Definitely. We go to events. We normally have like 3 or 4 events a week during football season. Over the summer, we're going to events. Over the summer, we also go to a cheerleading camp at the University of Alabama. We also have nationals that we normally compete in January. So we're all over the place all the time.
And an opportunity to get involved in that program will have you involved in all those events as well. And we'll talk about the tryouts for that in a little bit, but an opportunity to maybe get some people ready for tryouts and to become a cheerleader is some clinics that are being held here on campus. Talk us a little about those clinics. So,
well, we have 4 clinics leading up to tryouts, and these are opportunities for people wanting to get involved. They'll get to come and they'll get to stunt with us who are already cheerleaders, get those skills ready. They'll get to tumble a little bit. Also, at the end of the clinics, we'll teach them the fight song, which they'll have to know for tryouts. So that's always a good way to get a leg up on the other people trying out.
And we talk about trying out, but it's also, there's a range of ages that can participate in this. So it doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's trying to become a cheerleader.
Right.
They can start a little bit early, right? So what are the age range we're talking about here? So,
from freshmen in high school all the way up to transfer ages or college age students who are interested in getting involved with the program.
And why would you say it's so important maybe for maybe a freshman in high school to go ahead and take that first step in getting involved with the clinics and the camps and being with you guys at such an early, I guess, part of their career in cheer? So,
collegiate cheerleading is a lot. It takes a lot of skill to become one. It's really important to start at an early age because if you get to be a senior in high school and decide, hey, I want to try out for cheerleading in May, and you haven't prepared, it's going to be very difficult for you to get prepared.
Okay, and talking about that, let's talk about the tryouts themselves here at Troy University, because an opportunity for someone who maybe is in those clinics to be a cheerleader, but anybody out there who is want to cheer, be a part of it. Talk about tryouts and when they're going to be and what they can expect. So
tryouts are May 11th through the 13th. It involves a stunt process, tumbling process. You'll do the fight song, some chants, and there's an interview process this year as well. Our tumble requirements are you have to be able to do a standing tuck and then a round off handspring tuck. And then for stunts, it depends co-ed and all girl. Co-ed, you have to be able to do a toss hands and then an optional stunt. And then all girl, you have to be able to do a straight up extension, a full up, and then an optional stunt. And then if you are a top girl, you have to be able to do a double down or at least a full down.
And I'm not even going to pretend I know what any of that meant that you just said, but I'm sure that anyone out there who's interested in becoming a cheerleader, that's second nature to them to hear all of that right there. But
right.
But once again, that sounds like a complicated process, which means that it's not for the faint of heart. It's not someone who is unprepared to be a cheerleader.
Right.
It obviously a lot of physical activity involved with this, and so how really physical does it get out there? So,
well, we have workouts 3 times a week, so that definitely keeps us in shape for everything. But if you think about it, cheering at the football games, it's 4 hours, sometimes longer than that, constantly on your feet, jumping around, tumbling, stunning, all that good stuff. So it takes a lot of physical activity. You have to be really in shape to be able to do it.
Do all that, get involved with it. Now, I know I couldn't do it. Most definitely. Now, let's talk about, go back to the clinics. Let's talk about registration and requirements for those clinics for anybody that's interested in taking part of those clinics. So,
okay, so you can walk in if you want to. The 4 clinics, one is this Sunday, January 28th. Then we have February 25th, March 25th, and April 22nd. They're from 1 to 4. All of those are Sundays. You can walk in. It's $20. You'll need a proof of insurance and a physical from this year.
Okay.
So that's all you'll need, and then you'll come in and have fun with us.
Have fun and get to know a little bit what it takes to become a Troy cheerleader and get the opportunity to maybe cheer on the sidelines with Madison someday. So, thanks for joining us today, and good luck and keep cheering. So, all right.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.